everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Heather and we're your fun, fabulous sewing channel. I am always me and I encourage all of you to be you. If you have been with me for a while, you may have seen or remembered we unboxed a hand stitch leather bag kit probably a couple of months ago from Babylon Leather. And today is the day, you guys. We are finally sewing her up. I'm going to show you the finished product so that you can see it. And I'll talk you through. Look at how cute she is. Oh my God. Okay. Look at her. I can't stop looking. So this is the, I'm going to say the name wrong, so I'm not going to say it, but I will link this in the description box below in my video, and my discount code, which will get you a discount, and it combines with other discounts. So if they're having a sale on the website, you can still use the code and get the additional percentage off of your order. So all of that will be linked in the description box below this video. They have a ton of different bags to choose from. And the reason that I love these so much, like I sewed most of this on the couch watching TV with the fam. And if you have never sewed anything before, if you like just come across me randomly and be like, why am I here? You don't need a sewing machine to do this. The kit literally comes with absolutely everything you need, down to the screwdriver to put on the purse feet. You need nothing. And so that, I think, is amazing because it gives an opportunity for folks who don't normally make their own things to be able to make your own thing without having to pay a bunch of money for a sewing machine or something like that if you don't have one. But also it allows those of us who sit at machines all the time to do something a little bit different at the same time. Look at her. Stop it right now. Okay, the cream and the camel, I'm so here for it. The purse scarf, we actually got two of them, came with the kit. Our finished crossbody strap as well. We've got metal zip here, and it's just open, no lining or anything like that. It will fit a phone, it will fit a small wallet, it will fit your lip gloss. It's definitely, this is definitely not a big bag, you guys, but she is like a cutie and perfect for spring. I just went to brunch this past weekend with my girlfriends, and this would have been amazing if I could have finished it before then. To bring and sit on the table with me for brunch. The crossbody strap is adjustable. I think that's really cool too. And if you are with me all the time, you know your girl is not a crossbody girl, and so having a crossbody strap come with it, icing on the cake, you guys. All right, so we're gonna go through, I'm gonna take you on my journey as we stitch everything together here, and then we'll come back at the end, talk about our ups, our downs, and how long it took me. All right, so we are at our sewing table, even though we're not using the sewing machine. And the first thing that you want to do when you get your kit is obviously just make sure you have everything that you are supposed to have, and that everything looks like it should. You got what you ordered, kind of all of that. All right, we're going to set most of these things to the side for now. Undo our flap because that is the very first thing that we're going to start with. So we're going to open our needle pack, take out 2 needles. Okay, and we'll save the others. Now in your like hardware pack, you have some rubber bits, and these go on your fingers for giving you some extra kind of like traction, I guess I would call it, for holding onto the needles when you're pulling through like thicker fabric. I'm gonna leave them off for now, and we'll see if we need them. Okay, so we have our flat piece and our 2 needles, and we're going to take our thread it's waxed. If you've never used wax thread before, it feels different. Okay, and we need 4 times the length of what our stitch length will be. So I'm just going to go around. Okay, so that's 1. 2. 3. Okay, 4. And I'm going to show you up close how to thread the needles, and I'm just going to do that once, and this will be the needle technique that we use all the way through. So these needles have holes in them, and you're just going to thread your thread through, and then you want to take your needle and you're going back through that thread like so. Okay, and we're doing a double needle method, which means we're going to put a needle on both sides of our thread. And we'll do that very same technique here through the eye hole and then back through the thread. Okay. Now both sides of our thread have a needle. It is super long, but that's okay. Now this is the front of our flap. Obviously it has the finished part of our magnetic strap, and we're going to start our first needle in this hole here. So that hole that sort of comes across this line, that's where our first needle is going to go. And our second is going to go right next to it, going up in this direction because that's the direction we're going to sew first. We're going to pull our needles at the same time and just all the way through, and that will make sure that we have equal thread on both of our needles. Okay, and then we're going to take the thread from our first needle and we're going to put it back down through the second hole. And pull it tight. Okay, and that is your starting stitch. And you'll continue stitching this way, pulling tightly as you go all the way through. So one goes up and one goes down. Okay, so that's what we're working with. And here we're going to do this all the way around the curvature of our flap and right back to this hole where we started, but just on the other side. So we're going to keep going all the way around, and then we will do our next step. Okay, so you're in your last hole over here and you've got one side coming out the back and one side coming out the front, and that's what you're looking for. Okay, and now we're gonna do something super scary and remove our zipper pulls and separate our zipper. We're gonna set the front panel to the side for now, and this is our back panel. Okay, this is our right side, which you know because our zipper is out here and the inside of our bag is a slightly different color that matches the inside of the flap. And this will just, the outside will look more finished. Okay, so this section here is where we're gonna stitch on our flap. And you just wanna make sure that it's facing upwards, okay, because this is gonna flap over onto the front. So you're gonna start by taking the bottom needle, the one that's coming out of the bottom, and you're gonna match it up and through the hole on the bottom of your panel. So see that? So it's gonna be really wonky. Sometimes there is like a binder clip included. I'm just looking to see if there's one here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you can use this to just kind of like hold your floppy material a bit in place while you work on this. Okay, and then we're going to come back up. And it'll feel a little strange and look a little loose until you get further into your project. You can kind of lift it up just to see that you're going through where you want to. And then pull it tight. And so it's the same stitching method that you're using whether you're combining pieces or if you are just doing like a top stitch. It is all the same. So you can see here, now we've come down and we're just going to continue on in this manner. And I like to just kind of pull our thread aside. Just don't poke yourself. I have done that many times. Does not feel good. Oh, we've got a little bump in our thread there. All right, so we're just going to keep going all the way around. Okay, I put on one of the little helpers because it gets pretty thick. So once you get to this point where you are in that hole that you first started, then you're just going to pivot across and do this straight line. And the sewing technique is exactly the same. 2-needle method. Don't skip any stitches. Pull everything nice and tight. took the binder clip off because we don't need it anymore. Okay, and you can see we've pivoted. And we just kind of take a look, figure out where we are, and then we pull it tight when we're done with that stitch, and that kind of makes it so that we can see where we're headed, but also we can ensure that everything is going to stay where we want it to. So see? I'm just going to finish going all the way across, and then I will show you how we finish a stitch. That's going to be, so how we start our threads, how we sew, and how we finish a stitch. It's going to be the same all the way throughout this hand sewing process. So once you learn it once, you kind of got it, and it really applies for most hand sew projects. Sorry, concentrating. So yeah, it's going to be the same, which is nice. Okay, so when you get to the end here, and you have one at the top and one at the bottom, you're going to lock in your stitches by going backwards 2 stitches. Just make sure you pull it nice and tight. Okay, we're 2 stitches over, and then we're just going to cut our threads. Okay, like so, and we're going to burn them down. Okay, there we go. Flap complete. Now, it says that there is, that it takes about 5 to 6 hours to complete this bag in total. Now, sewing the flap, the top stitch, and sewing it onto our bag took us 45 minutes. So we'll keep track of how long it takes us in real time to make this bag as well. All right, let's move on to the next step. All right, so the next step, once you finish the flap, is to sew on the zipper panels. So I've done one already, and this one took us a half an hour. So both combined together, it's going to be an hour to sew, and add that onto the 45 minutes our flap took. By the time we're finished this step, it's going to take us about an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use our clip again, just to go ahead and hold down that flap. And you can see here the line, the bottom line, and the top line goes underneath the zipper tape. So when you're stitching, you're going to go through both the zip panel, the main panel, and the zipper tape here at the top. And you kind of think it's going to be difficult, but it's not. Our longer side goes with the zipper and our shorter side down here. And you're going to start on your large hole up here, which makes it even easier. So you're just going to take and you're going across the top first. And we're using the same techniques here and throughout the entire pattern. That's why I didn't show you. We set up our zipper, our needles exactly the same. We used 8 times the length, of the top. Okay, so 8 times the length of the top to do the thread. Okay. And then you'll just pull it so that it's even. It's always hardest when the thread is long. And I stitched on our other zipper panel watching Ocean's 11 on TV. So that's one of the things that's great about this is you don't need to be at a machine to make this bag. You can really stitch it anywhere you'd like. Okay. And we're just going to follow along just like we did before. And I'll show you at the end sort of how we finish it off. It is the same, but I feel like it's good to see, you know. Gotta fix our little finger. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way across the top, and then we're gonna come down all the way across the bottom, and then I'll show you how we finish that off. Okay, so this one's all set now too, and we did our 2 extra stitches up here, and whenever you are finishing this off, as long as you do 2, I mean, you could do 10, like however many extra stitches you want to do, just make sure both threads are coming out the back. Okay. And then we'll burn these down. And I just push them with like the metal and it kind of flattens them out. All right, you guys. We are an hour and 45 minutes in, and we have the flap and both zip panels, and we're gonna get ourselves ready here for the next step, which is our handles. So exciting. Like, how cute are these little guys? So cute. All right, I'm gonna get our thread ready and we'll move on to the handles. All right, so the next step is the handle, and you're gonna wanna make sure that you put them on so that the rolled side is sort of facing forward. And the handles can be tricky. We're just going to make sure here that we start at the very top here and here, okay? Well, actually, we're going to save that one. Our first hole on the handle that we're going to go through is the one that already has thread in it. And it's going to be the most difficult to kind of get to. And our length of thread for these handles, I'll show you in 1 second, is 3 times the length of the top, okay? So that's what you're measuring out. And then we're just going to grab these to make sure that we've got even. Okay. Try not to go through your thread. I know, it's easier said than done. Okay. And once we get that sort of initial stitch in, we can give it a nice tug, make it tight. Just want to keep that sort of handle fluff out of your way as best as you can. And if there's too much, just cut it out. Cut it off, you know? Don't struggle with it. And just make sure that you're pulling nice and tightly as you go. And we're going to go all the way around and back up to the final hole and then back stitch. All right, so our handles took about 15 minutes for each, so a total of an hour. So far we're at 2 hours and 45 minutes. And we're getting a lot closer to our final project. So we're gonna take our front panel, which is the panel without the flap, and we're going to place that over our back panel, and we're going to do start to sew the bag together here. So we're going to do our sides. Now you want 5 times the length of your side panel for total thread length, and you're going to just come up through the bottom here. The first one, and then the second. And again, once again, every time we stitch, it's exactly the same. You just want to make sure everything's even and that you pull everything nice and tight, and then you're going to have no issues whatsoever sort of with your bag and having everything stay where you want it to. It's all going to work out, and you just want to make sure that you don't miss any holes. And like I said, once you kind of like pull it tight, you're going to lock in those stitches, and that's kind of when it gets a bit easier. Okay, so we're going to go all the way down the bottom. When we get to the bottom, we'll come back up and back stitch twice, and then we'll end those on the inside just as we have been doing. Okay, so that took us 20 minutes, so we're up to 3 hours and 5 minutes, and that's the first side, okay? Now, to do the second side here, we just want to make sure that our side with the flap is still underneath our front side, And we're going to go ahead and stitch exactly the same way. Again, it's all the same, which is why it's really relatively simple. Once you learn the technique for sewing, the fact that it's the same throughout the whole bag is just, it's awesome. So it's a little more complicated on the second side, sorry, because you are going sort of in and through and you can't really see. Oh, actually we also went through the wrong side here, so see that? See how easy it is? Okay, there we go. Make sure you're in the right hole. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and make sure that we do the right bottom. And as usual, everything gets a lot simpler as we sort of make our way down the bag. Okay, so I'm gonna do this so that it's closer to me, which is really difficult to do on camera, but just see if I can lock us in here before I take this on out to the living room in front of the TV and keep going. See that? See how it just like comes together once you kind of lock it in? And that's exactly what we want. So again, here we'll just go all the way down the side and then we get to move on to putting our base on. So every step that we finish gets us one step closer to the final product. All right, you guys, our sides are done and it's starting to look like a bag. Now the next part is the bottom, and one of the things that I'm just going to tell you right now that I both love and hate at the same time is that the sewing steps that they give you to do, they basically start out easiest and then move you to the things that are the hardest, which is great because it gets you used to the techniques and the sewing and things like that, but also not great because the closer you get to the end, the harder the stitching gets. So there's that. So what we're doing now is going to sew on the bottom, and for this you need 4 times the stitch length, so you just want to go around the bottom of your bag 4 times. And you're going to start in the center, and you can see the center hole is quite a bit larger. And the center hole on here is also quite a bit larger. And you want your bottom to be on top of your bag. And it's going to be really finicky until you get a couple in because of how much thread you have and the play on everything. So just be mindful. Again, same sewing techniques. You are going to want, if you have not been using the rubber for your finger, you're going to want it here. This base is very thick. Everything's long and it's a lot. Okay, and we're just gonna secure our first stitch and then we can move on. And again, it's the same. Just make sure you're pulling everything nice and tight as you go, and that will really help you. Now, I'm just going to keep stitching along this way until we get to this little corner bit here, and I'll show you how we're going to make the corners of our bag sort of stand out. All right, you guys, so we are at the corner. So we've got this open still. And we're going to come in here and just pull that tight. We're going to take this one that's on the bottom, and we're going to go up through just the main piece, okay? We're going to pull that, and then we're going to come back down through the other side of that gap. And back up through this side. And then finally through our base panel. And that's supposed to create our corner, which I'm sure it will once we get everything where we need it to. Okay, so then we're going to push this thread out of the way. And we're going through the base. Sorry, guys. Going through the base, and then we're only going through that far side hole of our main panel. Okay, like this. And pull that through. I know it looks like a mess right now. Okay, and then we're just gonna pull everything nice and tight, and see how it kind of makes that corner crease, and as we continue on, it'll just make that even more defined. Okay, so that's how you do the corners, and then you're just going to keep going across the sides and continue to make, not to miss any holes, and continue to go around your base here. And like I said, it will do what you want it to. I promise. Just takes a little bit of gentle pushing. And as you start to sort of button this up, it's gonna become a little trickier to like get your hand in there and all that, but see, now that corner is kind of going where we want it to, and so we're just gonna keep on keeping on all the way around just like that until we finish. Okay, you guys, we are getting so close. Our bottom is sewn on, and I've done 3 of the 4 purse feet so far, and your kit comes with a screwdriver, so it literally comes with everything you need, which is amazing. We're gonna do our last one together. So it's just 2 pieces. It has this little screw, and then the purse foot that sort of go into. And then you can see it kind of sticks out just enough. And I'm just going to keep a finger on that. Just to get it started. Okay, and then we can come in with our screwdriver and just turn from the inside and screw that in. And obviously just keep going until you can't anymore. And there we go. All 4 purse feet. I love the sound that purse feet make when you put them down. All right, so while we finish this up so that that sound doesn't get to be too much, we're just going to put our rubber stoppers on. These come in the kit also. Okay, and now at this point you can basically see like what your bag is going to look like. What we need to do now is thread our zipper pull on. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to move you guys a little bit. And you just want your zip teeth to kind of come together. And we're going to do this 2 times. The first time we're going to pull it all the way off. Hard when there's like nothing to hold on to down here. Okay. And then all the way off, right? So now it's closed. It's looking so cute. Now I want our zipper to be closed to when I'm looking at it, closed to the left and open to the right. So I'm going to put our pull on the right hand side. So you're just going to separate those zip teeth. Well, this is a metal zipper, which I don't usually work with, so have some grace with me. And you're putting in the larger, the wider side. If you've never done a zip pull in a bag before, you put in the larger side. And you want these teeth to kind of connect with each other inside of your zipper pull before you pull it out. Okay, now this time we are just gonna leave this right in the center. Okay, like so. All right, I'm gonna get us set up to do our zip ends now, which will be our last sewing step. Oh yeah, and our bottom, including the stitching and the putting our purse feet in, took us an hour and a half. So we're at 5 hours currently, and we've got 2 more pieces to stitch on. All right, you guys, we are here, last step. And let me just explain, like, look at how much thread we have left. So feel free to be generous on the last step, which is these guys here. You're going to do 3 times the length of the top. And if you give yourself a little extra, I feel like you'll appreciate that, because it's not the easiest sew. Like I explained, the technique gets a little more difficult as you move through the bag, which is like a blessing and a curse because you feel really confident, but then you get to a hard part and you're like, ah. So our needles are all set up. Now our zip tabs here, they have a wrong side and a right side, and so you will be able to tell which side is the wrong side and which side is the right side. It is very clear. And so we're going to start in from one hole in from the side here. And we're doing the same stitching technique. And so what I'm going to do, we'll do our starting stitch. And then we're just going to go all the way around our oh gosh, sorry. We're going to go all the way around our circle here until we get back to this same hole, just on the opposite side. All right, so we've got our semicircle, and then we are just going to go ahead, keep going. This end hole, we do not stitch onto our bag. We're stitching it separately. Okay, and now the difficult part. So your bag has actually 5 holes, but we're using these first 2 holes and these last 2 holes and not the center. And I'll tell you that for the last 2 holes, they line up with the holes in our zipper facings, and the center 2 are going straight through the zip tape. Okay, so that I feel like is just important to keep in mind. You just want to tuck in your zippers. Okay, make sure that your front side is up, and you're going to take your bottom one. Okay, you're going to pass it up through, sorry, the bottom, only the bottom. Okay, and then you're going to go through your bottom first hole here. And you're going to kind of feel around until you find your top hole here, which is why it's kind of difficult. I'm going to try to keep that zip tape just kind of tucked in there. And it's kind of a guessing game, which again is like why it's so difficult. And you will get it eventually. I promise. Okay, all right. Now, you're going to pull the same one that you've been using up through the top. Okay. And the idea here is that this is going to go over your end to kind of finish it off. And I know it seems like a lot, and it is. It is a lot. Okay, but you're just going to keep working at it until you get it, and it will happen. Okay, so we'll come down through this one. And you can see, like, this is why it's nice to have a little bit of extra slack here. We'll pull everything here together again in a second. Okay, and just kind of like keep trying to get it in there, and it will end up where you want it to, even if it seems like it's not going to. I promise. I promise. It will work out. Just take some patience. And you've made it this far, you know? You've made it this far. Okay, so we're just going to keep going like that all the way to this fourth hole here. Okay, I'm bleeding. I stuck myself with the needle. All right, so we're across. Now we just have this hole, and that does not get sewn into anything, just kind of through the exterior pieces here. Kind of like sandwiches it together. And if you're bleeding, that's okay. So am I. Just don't get it on the bag, you know? It happens. I have actually stuck myself in the face before. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've done that. If you've never stuck yourself in the face, then you're already doing better than me. And now we're just going back up. And we'll finish off our stitching up here with our 2 back stitches. So that completes the stitching, right? But we want to keep going just to make sure we're all locked in. And we'll go one more. One, two. Good to go. Trim those threads up. Watch out for my bloody thumb. Melt those down. You guys, there we go. There is our finished bag. We can attach our crossbody strap and take a final look. All right, you guys, we attached our scarf and our crossbody strap, and we're all done. I just love this so, so much. I love that it's all leather. It smells delicious. I love that it's a metal zipper and just all the gold accents and everything. It's just, oh, it's so good. Okay, so the last step, we stitched on our zip tabs, which are also our connectors for our crossbody, and that took us about 40 minutes to do both. So that puts us at 5 hours and 40 minutes complete, which is right within the wheelhouse of what they suggested it was going to take for time to make, which is kind of amazing. And so it just goes to show you that, like, I sew in a sewing machine all the time, right? And I like to think I'm pretty good with that. But here, it's like evening the playing field. We are all the same. And I think that that's totally amazing. It took me the same amount of time as it says it takes people. In fact, it took me closer to the max amount of time that it says. And so I thought that was really interesting. Now, days-wise, I've been working on this for a couple hours every day for 5 days. And like I said, I did a lot of this when I wasn't, showing you what we're doing next or anything like that, just sitting on the couch with the fam, hanging out, watching my favorite shows, or sitting at the island while Mike cooked dinner, or whatever it was. I was able to do this and not be in my studio, which is sometimes really nice too. It's a great break from doing the same thing all the time. So yeah, I'm not selling this. I will be keeping this, but you can make one for yourself. Don't forget to expand that description box. And if you enjoyed today's video, as always, please feel free to interact with me. Like, comment. If you haven't subscribed and you're like, yeah, she's all right, click the subscribe button too. Whatever you feel like. I just appreciate you guys so, so much. Thank you for being here while we try new things and while we do some of the same things more than once. Because sometimes we need to do that too. I hope you have a great rest of your day today. I know I will. I'm going to go fill my little bag with my goodies so I can take it out. And I will see you soon.